Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tony back with another episode of the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet. This is episode 2 of season 2 of TigerSox.
Yes!
Yes!
God damn it, we've
been gone for a long time, but we are going to be doing this, and the next 2 episodes of TigerSox will be a hoosierbeer series. Thanks to my man Chris in Indiana, Mr. Gone V6. Follow him on Instagram and Untapped. Lots of good pictures, lots of great beer. Chris is an avid beer drinker, drinks, I swear to God, every
man
week,
after my own heart.
Every week, honestly, every week, Chris has got at least 10 to 12 beers that he's gone through. So, if you have an Instagram account, I strongly encourage you to follow Mr. Gone V6. Got great pictures, great tasting beer, and an all-around good guy.
Yep. That's why we dragged him along this season, too. We renewed his contract.
Exactly, yeah, we've renewed his contract, and so this is, in fact, part of the Hoosier Beer series. Today we're going to be doing the Juicebox American IPA from 450 Brewing. Now, those of you who have watched the TigerSox reviews before, and especially the Hoosier Beer series, know that this is from... Yeah, let's get that a little closer. This is from 450 North Brewing, and Tony and I had the... Barn Yeti, is that what it's called? Barn Yeti, Belgian ale.
Yes.
Belgian barn ale was a white. It was a Belgian farm ale, and honestly, I liked it a lot. And that says a hell of a lot for me. Anything that has the word Belgian on it that I can actually give a thumbs up to says a great deal. Yeah, but this is the juice box. It, as you can see, has very clever. It looks kind of like a. Yeah. Like one of those juice boxes you give your kid back in the 80s.
And the fonts is kind of fun.
It is fun, and it's a canned beer, and we got to give it to them. This is another one of those that has sort of a ragged edge along the seam. But cheers to somebody who is actually canning beer instead of bottling. And even if you have only the most rudimentary of implements to do it, hats off to you. This managed to come all the way from Indiana to Las Vegas with this ragged edge blue seam beer. So that just shows you, those of you who think, well, gee, if you don't have a quality seamer, then it just can't possibly be transported, and it can't possibly go thousands of miles. This one did, by the U.S. Postal Service. All right, so just think about that a minute. This beer comes in at 6% ABV and 60 IBU. Tony pointed out before we started this video, it's so nice to see a brewery actually mention the IBUs on a beer, particularly an IPA.
It's rare on
Let's
IPAs.
face it, IPAs are the ones where you really want to know your IBU, and you don't see it very often.
Yeah, you don't.
The one thing that is missing on this is naturally a brewed on or an enjoy by date, but
I can excuse that. I mean, if I have to be, picky, I want the IBU number on here. We mentioned it in season 1 with one of our other IPAs we reviewed. That please put the IBUs on there, because am I going to be opening a session IPA? Am I in for a triple digit IBU where I'm like not prepared?
Right, exactly.
I want to be more prepared. If it's a 50 IBU, I misspoke a second ago. 50 IBU, then I'm it's easy to drink kind of
And I'm a fan of IPAs. Tony is a super fan of IPAs. So IBU count is really it's somebody like us. If you are an IBA lover, this is a number you really like to see. You like to know.
I was excited when I spotted it. I'm like, yes, they put it on there.
So shall we crack this open and give it a try?
I also wanted to point out one other thing on the can. Out of the straw, it's almost, to me, it makes me laugh. There's a 21 plus coming out the straw, like a little drip of fluid. I'm like, in case you'd forgotten.
Well, it does have the juice box on it.
Yeah, so kids might be like, 450 North Brewing Company, Columbus, Indiana. So.
And I'll take this opportunity to state, it's been said before, but I say it again.
I know what you're going to say.
Regardless of what the law is, we at this page are strongly against underage drinking. We support the 21 plus law.
Absolutely.
They bring the law back down to 18, which I personally think would be a good idea. Great, but until then, This page is age appropriate. The video you're watching, if you're watching this and you're under 21, you're doing so basically fraudulently, because this is a 21 plus page. So let's just get that out of the way. Let everybody know.
Yeah.
This
You're
page does not support,
here.
by any stretch of the imagination, underage drinking.
Yeah.
This is lots and lots of carbonation.
Lots of carbonation.
I mean, wow, there is some serious bubbles going up from here.
Yeah, it looks like a lava lamp on speed.
Yeah,
it really does.
And this head is going nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely nowhere. That head is...
The beer is...
it is not dissipating, really.
Right now, it's room temp, and as I pour it, and I can look this direction with the sunlight behind Chris, I'm actually seeing, like...
silt, kind of...
Almost like if you were to watch the planet Jupiter on, like, YouTube, and, like, watch the reds and the oranges and the yellows kind of twirl through the storms.
And there's kind of a cloudiness.
That's what it's doing
or...
from my angle, and it's actually really beautiful.
Those of us who live in the Southwest, if you've ever experienced a dust devil, where you've got dust almost taking on a smoke form, that is what I just saw just seconds ago inside of this glass.
This poured about as beautifully as a beer as I've seen.
This is very hazy. I am not able, even as I hold the sun, and you can't see me doing this because it's out of frame, as I hold this and look at it through the sunlight, I cannot see through this beer. This is a very hazy...
It's almost like a really pulpy glass of grapefruit juice. Maybe not so much grapefruit juice, it's just like a really pulpy, I won't say orange juice because that just doesn't...
Citrus and hops. That are the two... If I were just going to narrow it down to two broad categories...
Awesome bouquet.
Citrus and hops.
Yeah.
This is a good smelling beer. If this beer was a candle from Yankee Candle, this would sell. In the
It'd be
summer.
burning in my house right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because I love IPAs so much. This poured beautifully. I normally don't stop to acknowledge a pour.
This head is going nowhere. This is a resilient head.
Yes,
it really is.
It's like floating on a cloud right here. I don't know if this is here. This angle might kind of.
I'm actually afraid that this might be a little too warm for your taste.
No, I really don't think. I'm not. Okay. I don't think I'm worried about that. The head is very fluffy, very meringue, like a lemon meringue.
Exactly.
Pie.
Yeah, resilient like a meringue, and
and it just smells to die for. And the pour was just stunning.
Oh yeah,
what a beautiful pour.
Cheers.
I'm excited now. Take a bath in it. Nice. It's got a really nice sharp, like almost right away you get like a real sharpness to it. I mean, you get your IPA, you get your hops. You're getting a lot of hops, but you're getting a very dry, just like almost
dry.
Like a,
that's exactly the word.
Like a very dry, sharp. In fact, right now it feels like there's very little moisture in my mouth right now. Like it just kind of went like, whoa, where'd it go?
I can taste
delicious
hops.
Beer.
I can taste like orange and grapefruit. Actually, what I say orange, but I'll be honest with you. What I taste more is Tangelo. That's exactly what it tastes like to me. Tangelo and grapefruit.
Great analogy. And, so grapefruit big time.
It's a beautiful color. It really is. I mean, honestly, I mean, this is...
It's almost like jack-o'-lantern. It's almost like a pumpkin... It's not pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
Stop there. It's almost like a burnt orange medley of, like, with it, like, if you could just get, like, straight tangerine juice or peach juice. It's a beautiful color. The flow of, like I said, when I first poured it, created, like, a wave. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I don't know.
For those of you who grew up on farms, when you first cut the hay before it turns to straw, this is the color. This is exactly the color.
Another nice analogy.
Fresh hay.
Mr. Analogy, 2016.
Fresh, uncut hay. That's this color. And, wow, this is...
Hats off to these. I mean, we've already been impressed with their beer before, but...
I'll put it this way. 450 North Brewing impressed me with a beer that I don't normally like, a Belgian farm ale. And so I was... And here, I mean, just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you on this side. Here's the rundown of the hops. We've got Mandrina, Bavaria, Citrus, Summit, Amarillo, and Cascade. And so, I mean, I'm loath to think of too many varieties of hops that are not in that, to be honest with you.
Plus, it's got this nice balance of, the different, what all these hops bring to a beer. We all know some of them are more piney, some of them are more bitter. Some are just
a little more
citrusy.
Yeah.
Right. This actually is a true hybrid of all. It's like a fusion of all. A blender. Like if you were to make a beer in a blender with just hops and kind of throw it. Plus you got that nice citrusy. I think that's more prevalent is the dryness, the hoppiness, and then the citrus is just really pronounced.
I'm going to put it this way. If I ever find myself in Columbus, Indiana, I am going to this brewery. That's all there is to it. I am going to 450 Brewing. I don't know 450 Brewing. I don't know if you have a tap room or not, but I am coming to your brewery if I ever find myself in Columbus, Indiana. If I'm driving through and I see, oh, here's an exit for Columbus, I'm getting off. I'm going to this brewery. I am going to see this because this is honestly, I got to say, 450 Brewing with only 2 beers is becoming one of my favorite breweries. It really, truly is.
I can't argue that.
They got the bomber size, the 16. They got the pint-sized cans, which is great. I love a can. That's exactly a pint.
Right.
I think that's a great amount of beer because to me, it's like a beer and a half, and it's perfect. A lot of times.
I totally agree. I mean, the can actually does tell you tangerine India Pale Ale at the bottom, but
okay, it was tangerine. To me, it tasted like Tangelo, but you know,
how far off the mark are you? Yeah. It's not like you really are. If anybody that works for 450 North Brewing Company is watching this video or happens across it, we're in Vegas. We are hard to impress with, because we have so many beers that come in from all over. And we've tried, we've tried tons of tangerine IPAs.
Oh, yeah.
Blood orange IPAs and other, IPAs that focus on the citrus. This beer is outstanding. I'm very enthused about this beer.
This is probably going to get a 4.5 from me on Untapped. Maybe even a 4.75. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this beer, and then I'm going to do my Untapped rating because that's.
And I'll do it later tonight.
Because
Maybe we should mention our Untapped handles. That way, if anybody watches these videos, friend request us because we like talking beer.
And I've never turned down a friend request on Untapped.
You'll toast us.
Yeah, I've never turned down a single friend request on Untapped.
My name's Tony Wyman, and my handle on Untapped is I beer, therefore I am.
Beautiful.
Which I'm kind of proud of. I think it's funny.
And if you look for me as the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet on Untapped, you will find that.
He's well established. Obviously. But hats off to you guys in Indiana. You made a beautiful IPA.
And to Chris in Indiana, Chris. When you send more boxes, never ever hesitate to send us 450 North Brewing. Honestly, I'm at this point, I would be surprised to be disappointed by a beer from them because I've been so impressed with both of these beers. Yeah. Hats off to Indiana. I don't think Indiana is quite getting enough attention in terms of how much.
Very true. The Midwest.
Of course, there's a lot of focus on my home state because St. Louis is, where the supposedly the king of beers,
the evil empire,
is brewed. The whorehouse in St. Louis, as I call it. But
with yellow stuff oozing all over the place.
I've got to say, I will say this much honestly. Chicago, Indiana is kicking your ass in breweries.
Oh,
pure and simple. Goose Island is and I'm a Cubs fan. I lived in Wrigleyville for a year, but seriously, Goose Island is corporate swill. All of you who keep putting those pictures of Goose Island and Bourbon County up on your Untapped, just remember that's corporate swill. Okay.
That's a fact.
This is 450 Brewing. This is from Columbus, Indiana. I'm willing to bet if you live in Chicago, you can get this. I've never yet seen an Indiana beer not available in Chicago.
Yeah.
And you should be drinking 450 North Brewing instead of Goose Island and buying into all the hype, honestly.
I agree. I know there's, good people that work for these companies that, would be our friends and would be awesome people.
Yeah, we're not never denigrate the workers. The workers are working people. This is a blue collar beer gourmet.
1 minute left.
I'm in no position to denigrate working people.
No, not at all. But, we know that you go to work and you love what you do and you're passionate about it.
No.
And we can't say the same thing. So, but yeah, as far as to wrap it up, which we're almost out of time, I couldn't be more impressed with this beer. I don't know how many times I've given 4.5 on Untapped, but I can count it on one hand.
Yeah.
This might make it to fill the hand or make it to the next hand.
Drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it.
And
thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Chris, again.
Yep.
And comment,
please
subscribe, and follow us. Cheers.
Bye.